Okay, this is where I camped. Okay, what a $2 pizza for you come into the temple. This one has a... Okay, this is known as the atomic... Okay, got underground. Okay, what a typical Japanese... Welcome to the Eternal Cyclist. Enjoy the adventure. We're now in Japan. Okay, this one seems to be to do with snake. So I'm gonna walk around this temple and do the stuff. The history of the shrine is here. So I gotta take a picture. Quite an unusual temple. It even has the snakes in there, as you can see. And the beauty of the temple is nice. Typical plaque area where you put your wishes and blessings. This one has the snake stuff. Instructions how to do your folds and ties. Your typical rocks. This one has snake ornaments around it, as you can see. So this one seems to worship the snake. The water well, the same thing. You're supposed to wash your hands before you come into the temple. This one has a snake, and then your water pit. Instructions how to wash and stuff like that. Scriptures I can't read. I'm going to come back down here a little bit to get a better view of the whole thing. And that's a nice little temple there. And then the second part of the temple is up over here. I'm going to be testing a few things here too. It takes photo while I'm recording. Again, it's got the snake thing. Blessings here. The front side of the temple here. And then the actual main temple there. And I'm going to walk up to the front part. These are a little bit longer than usual because I'm taking advantage of no one being here. And the instructions. You're not supposed to take pictures inside the temple, but you can take pictures up to here. This one here. It has the proper writing for the technique of that and what you're supposed to do. Some of the bike path stuff is very confusing, that you've got to go to the other side of the road, and sometimes on this side of the road. Some are walking areas, some are then bike on the other side of the road. So it gets kind of confusing. Okay, this one is from my friend Cece. We were talking about, she said, just the trash. And in Japan, they have trash stations. So here you dump your bottles, but without the lid. Tops are supposed to come off. And this is where you dump your bottles. This is where you dump your cans. This is your cans. This is your cardboard. More cardboard. More cardboard. Nicely tied. This is clothing, books, and stuff like that. Then you have different boxes, especially for just the plastic items. And then as you see across the street are how the houses do the stuff. And they do it in a different way. They have the little baskets, and food scraps and stuff like that can go in the baskets. As I've said before, this is kind of confusing. Over here is a sidewalk, over here is the right-of-way. Maybe yes, maybe no. Okay, this is what I mean by it's quite confusing. If you look across the street there, see the little strip that's right about there? That's where the bikes are supposed to go, not on the sidewalk, because the sidewalk is too narrow. So because that has the little dot, dot, dot in the white line, the bike is supposed to stay within there. Then on this side of the street, we come back to having a nice sidewalk. So here we have the option. It's preferred if there's a lot of traffic that you don't stay here within this white area. You can go up on the sidewalk if it's marked properly. Strange system. Even if a street is closed like this and you could easily cross the street on a red light, you don't cross in Japan. If you're wondering if cyclists do get pulled over by the police for tickets, oh, most definitely. Probably after a week or two, you get used to all the different things. That says no bicyclists in that expressway. This goes down or around. Otherwise, the other side of the street would have gone straight around. I do like all the doggy signs. Nice ride along the ocean front. Again, decent bike path here and there. Beautiful. Coming up to Hiroshima. As I've said before, it's kind of strange, this little route. Very steep little overpass to the other side. Okay, gonna take lunch here at this little park. I'm gonna mark it down. Nice little view of the ocean and the island over there. All good. And the sheer brutalness of Japanese bridges. It claims to be 6% lime, but I'm sure it's more. Time to change gears. Okay, I'm gonna take advantage of this being up top the bridge here to take a look around some of the city. This is Hiroshima coming into. There's the bike. There are the islands out there that people come on and off. And there we go. Now see, you gotta like countries that put the bike bridge under the real bridge. Okay, we're in the Hiroshima Park. There's your little tree. That's the big buildings. As you see, tons and tons of tourists. I know bike sign, don't bring the bike up here, so I won't. And then of course this is considered what they call ground zero. And there's always some dignitary putting something. It's all good these days. You can walk anywhere. Okay, this is known as the Atomic Dome. So we're parked in front of the Atomic Dome. Okay, got underground crossings and stuff. Okay, we're out in front of the Hiroshima Castle. I walked in. The temple is more of a tourist trap than anything else. This is the part that looks nice and the part that's important. Okay, night's falling, so quickly I've got to do some stuff. Bicycle parking, they have restaurants here all over, but expensive. This is a bike parking area. Hostel is just up over there, so I've locked the bike up out here, and it should be safe. This is Japan, so basically you just kind of sort of lock it and leave it. I mean, there's some nice bikes here. Okay, here's the bike parking lot. It's enclosed down. You pay by that. It looks like it's one day 300, which is cheap. And basically you come down and park there. So it looks like they have a nice parking lot. You can get change, you can buy the ticket. Everything here for the parking is done here. Even have an elevator to come down if you don't want to walk. And then the vending machines. Oops. You go in, you take a ticket, and you follow the instructions. And I think it's $3 a day. Even have a little machine to help you get your bike up. It's cool. Lazy way. Have the elevator take you up. Ah, good. Okay, what a $2 pizza looks like before adding anything to it. I'm gonna add more cheese and more sauce, because otherwise I'm eating 2 of these. For a Japanese hostel, it's a nice kitchen. It's got toast, microwave, rice cooker, toaster oven, water kettle, stove top, some pots and pans, plenty of cookware, some spices and stuff. So if you're going to stay a few days, it's good to have everything and do everything.
Yeah, feeling less water now. Logan. 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 Yes, less now.
Okay, what a typical Japanese hostel looks like. You got your little cubicles, and in the cubicles you've got power outlets, lights, hangers, a few other things. Common space, some are lengthwise, some are that way. You got place to hang clothing, all the information about the hostel, drawing, your outer area, your showers, your sink washing areas, hair dryers, stuff like that, dirty towel bin, clothes washer and dryer. I'm doing that right now. Place to put your trash. Again, it goes by different levels. Your toilets, and this one is on the 3rd floor. All your rules and regulations, and private rooms, dormitories, your shoes to put on, because you're not supposed to do what I'm doing right now, accidentally walking in with your outside shoes. You're supposed to put on the slippers, put your shoes into these spots, and this one's on the 3rd floor. In Japan, they have a lot more of these, well, kids' bikes, and where you can take your kid around and different things, take them, and the folding type, and that. A lot of e-bikes. I'm gonna go check out this store. Next door you see the little pony kegs, and that's the bar. Drinks. That's what happens in the bigger cities. Get your choices of drinks. Shows you what you could get food wise. Displays, plastic displays of the food, how many grams everything, and the prices are. Just think about that. 3 little chicken nuggets, a few french fries for about $5, $6. Not that cheap, but some good stuff. Pedestrian walkway, crowded terminal. Okay, so you see, this was what you were talking about, the 20% off, 20% off. This is when they're short dated or that, you get different prices. So when stuff is salads and stuff are short dated, you can get them at a discount. So that's how it goes, and that's what you shop for each same day. One thing, there's definitely not a lack of food places, Korean style chicken, this and that. Prices are the one that adds up quickly. Definitely in the malls and stuff, same as everywhere else. Plenty to choose from. Grocery stores is more where I go. Choices are good. Prices? Okay, forgot to do that in the bike shop. I need to do the bike light, otherwise I get a big fine. So, it cost me like $5,000 to get the bike light. Fine is about $3,000 each time, so I guess it's fair. Good quality. Okay, trying something different tonight. Frozen rice and stuff. I had to microwave it, but it looks good. It's supposed to be chicken and stuff. Looks bigger when it's in the thing, but we'll see how much it's filling and whether or not it's worth the 200 and something. Just under $2. Okay, bike is nicely still here. Mornings are, well, today it's a little rainy and still a little bit chilly. So I'm gonna be looking at stuff. I got a few things to do this morning and then pack up and leave. Okay, a quick end to this video. Been here in Hiroshima an extra day. Did that to get cleaned up, wash all my clothes, sort some stuff out, look at the maps and all that kind of stuff, and adjust the maps where they don't show what the riding is like, everything else. Do that adjustment, find some other map paces and stuff, and start to figure out what I want to do here in Japan. So I kind of figured out now I'm going to do some island hopping in between here and there, and there's a lot of bridges and it's supposed to be a lot of interesting stuff. So I got to watch my food category, pick up a little bit more stuff before I leave here in Hiroshima, because the islands don't, according to the locals, have much. I talked to one Warm Showers host and that, so we'll see what's actually out there. Probably more like 7-Elevens and stuff like that, but it means I need a few things to get by, otherwise it could be very expensive. And then I looked into, there's a ferry that actually goes from Okinawa back to Korea. Not hugely more expensive than the other one. Takes longer, but then I don't have to bike this entire piece and section again, which is probably a good thing. So it gives me more time to bike up north and do the 2 routes that way and circle around. So I'm gonna look in more of that and then start to find some dates and stuff. The next couple weeks is going to be hectic because basically we are in peak season here in Japan for vacations and the cherry blossom blooming, so I may not see much of it depending on where I go, but they say it's crowded everywhere, prices go up and everything else. So basically, like I say, I'm just running this down and gonna post this video, clean up my phone, get everything ready, charge up my new bike light for the front that I have, so I don't get tickets in tunnels and different things, because they are, after this month, there's not much more leniency, they say, in some of the stuff. They do have the exceptions, but that's that. All right, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll start updating Japan as we go. Just like and subscribe to us.